As surf park operators, you'll have noticed a surge in interest in the space from the water park sector. I know we have at Surf Park Central. And we've seen that there's a bit of a tension emerging, something of a continuum between the surf park purists on one side who give surfing and surf culture primacy in their thinking, and they tend to denigrate water parks to a certain extent. One of our speakers at Virtual Surf Park Summit referred to them as cheesy. Then on the other side of that continuum, there are those from the older, more established water park side of the industry who think the surf park industry is young and brash, naively refusing to learn from decades of water park experience, successfully and profitably bringing families to water-based attractions. I'm wondering where you guys land in this debate and what your thoughts are on either side of that. Can they communicate with each other? What do we have to learn?
It's really interesting, Jess, because there's a difference between an amusement venue versus a sport and recreation venue that's tied to a lifestyle. There's a fundamental difference to start with that is unique. It's like the difference in the ski world between a tube park versus the ski hill and the ski resort, right? Two completely different products. We do believe they can operate copacetically together, but it's a very fine line you have to dance and work through. I think one of the biggest things is we're dealing with a lot of people coming into this space from the water park world, and maybe Cate, I'll let you elaborate on that, is some of the differences in their vision of operations from a gated attraction versus public access. And maybe I'll let you, Cate, expand on that a little bit and our thoughts there.
Yeah, I mean, there is a different mindset fundamentally. I mean, we've been working with some water park developers and also our technology providers. And, just kind of working with the whole mindset of, is it a gated experience or is it open to the public? Now, certainly if you can open your food and beverage to a broader audience than just the water park participants, now you've got an opportunity to service a bigger group and to attract other folks outside. So that whole mindset of gated attraction versus community outreach and bringing in new people who aren't necessarily in the attraction, just want to be part of it and enjoy the entertainment value of the surfing. That's one. And Skip also talked a little bit about we call it the skill versus thrill, right? The surf, which is a skill base where you try to improve and you come back multiple times. Like we take it back to our ski world. Yeah, I want to go ski 50 times a year because I want to keep getting better and I really love it. Whereas maybe I only go to water park once a year. If it's really hot, maybe I go to water park twice a year, but it's not really like I'm building a skill. So that whole skill versus thrill, folks who want to be purists, I mean, there's people who are purists and say surf parks is not pure. You can only be in the ocean, right? So we've got that element as well. So already we're in the surf park world, open ourselves to a lot of greater diversity into other customer segments. Entertainment at night when a water park might traditionally be down, we can build a restaurant. And even like at Wai Kai, our restaurant, The Lookout, we're positioning that as a standalone restaurant. It has its own website that's up. It's just a teaser website at this stage. But, we're going to market that as a restaurant for everybody in the Western, in Oahu to come to. It'll be on all of the open tables. It'll be on all of the food and, all the restaurant sites and get its own marketing so that it's standalone and not necessarily, and you'd never see something like that in a water park because you need it's a gated attraction. They're not open and welcoming to the general public.
And Cate, just to go expand on that too, I think a key differentiator is, people are looking to, or operators of water parks to take on the operations of a surf park. Surfing is based on a culture of brands and companies that have supported athletes, events, and programming and content. That doesn't happen at water parks. You don't have brands, you don't have athletes, you don't have stars. The magic mix of how you create that secret sauce to it, and it's hard to define how you mix that relationships with the core brands, the athletes, the events, and the energy you created a place. And to execute that does take a special skill set. And as you saw, we talked about it, Turtle Bay, we did that mix between work with the WSL, the APP, the groups at Wanderlust in the yoga and lifestyle world, the Surfer Magazine and creating Surfer the Bar, and all the athletes. We had Kai Lenny as a spokesman. We ran retreats with Jerry Lopez. All those things mixed together. It isn't one thing. it's a momentum that you create through understanding lifestyle marketing, lifestyle relationships that doesn't exist in the water park world. And that's why, you know, if you ask our position, we feel we're much stronger to be an operator of a surf park than a water park operator would be. But as we say, we're planning Cactus Surf Park is going to have a second phase that's going to have some water park construction and elements around it, but it'll be an experience that has a separate pathway to in and enter. The surfers will have their experience, the water park people will have theirs, but there will be opportunity to commingle in that space. So how you do it has to be done on a, you know, there's a fine line, right? That you create that side-by-side experience, because in an area like Phoenix, the water park business is a very strong business model, but you don't want it to come at the cost of what you're creating for the surf park.